guys, today I'm here to discuss some common IELTS speaking questions. So, you might have come across some of the common questions that IELTS usually asks. So, first we're going to discuss about art. So, there are different types of questions, maybe like do you often listen to music? What kind of music do you listen to? Do you think art is important? Should educational institutions include art in the curriculum? So, you might come across either exactly this type of question or a variant of it. So, let's look at them one by one. But before that, keep this thing in mind. When you answer any speaking question, make sure it is organized. So how do you keep the organization? First, start it off with a general statement that answers to the question, and then only give the details or examples or any other additional information that you would love to add on to it. So the first question, do you often listen to music? The word "you" shows that it is a personal question, so you can either agree or disagree to it. It can either be genuine or you can make up something in your mind. Either way, they are not going to test the honesty. And then you can give the reason and example. Make sure you answer your question in a complete sentence and at least 2 sentences. Most students have a tendency to answer it in one word or just one sentence, which could reduce the marks. Moving on to the second question. What kind of music do you listen to? Do you see over here the word "you" again shows it's a personal question? So there are different genres of music that you could probably choose from, like jazz, pop, country, classical, rock, etc. So if you want to choose, let's say, classical, you can say that I like classical because it is calming for my mind. And if you are a person older, belonging to the older generation, maybe you might feel that because of your age you feel this is more appropriate. Or if you're going through a tough time, it like probably a sadness, most people who experience sadness prefer classical because you can see those notes are kind of like lagging, so it would just give you a relaxation to your mind to calm or to overcome that sadness or sad face. Next, moving on to rock. Suppose if you like rock, usually it's the teenagers who love rock because it helps them to block the excessive thoughts. It's the excessive hormonal production period, right? So they might have too many thoughts and they may not know what to do with it, or they may be going through some tough time in their personal life. So you can see that such kind of teenagers prefer rock, loud music, loud noise, so that they can block the thoughts, and that way they can feel relaxed. Now country is more like the prominent instrument over there is a guitar. When you listen to a country music, you can hear the guitar notes prominent, so it's kind of like a happy mode or a happy note. Probably young girls would prefer country songs. For example, Taylor Swift produces a lot of country songs. Moving on to pop. So if you're in a mood to dance, or if you want to try out some workout and at that time you need a music to motivate you, pop music is literally helpful when you want to make a physical movement or a dance when you do it. Jazz is commonly seen among the American community, the African American community, and it's seen in the upper class when you go to probably a restaurant, a 5-star restaurant, That's when you hear jazz. I don't think most people would prefer jazz as a personal choice unless you are an American who grew up listening to that. Yeah. Moving on to third one. Do you think art is important? Well, I would personally choose yes, but then again, you have your own choice to agree or disagree to it, and make sure you give your valid reason. In my case, I would prefer to agree to this, and I would definitely answer it as yes, I think art is important. So, giving this general statement will make sure I give a complete answer, and then I would state the reason why I feel art is important. Okay, so the reason I would say is that it enhances the creativity of a person, and it trains the brain to think from various perspectives. So have you seen all those great people like Bill Gates going to a museum to view art or some sculpture? The reason is because they want to train their brain to think from various angles, and it's kind of exciting too when you're able to visualize art that helps you to see from different angles. Now, moving on to the fourth question. Should educational institutions include art in the curriculum? Again, you have the option to agree or disagree to it. Here, I'm going to agree to it because that's what I personally feel. And the reason that I feel is that it boosts creativity in kids, and that way it breeds thinkers and not blind followers of something. Okay. And that would eventually make them good decision makers, which is needed to reach heights in their life. And then another point is that it generates unique ideas. So these kids would be able to bring unique ideas to the world, and these unique ideas might make them the next Mark Zuckerberg, or probably the next Bill Gates, or somebody who brings a revolutionary idea into the world, and maybe they could become a world leader someday. Moving on to the third point, it enhances understanding ability. So when a child is able to understand art, it is being trained into his brain, and that way in interpersonal relationships also, that person or the kid will be able to understand why this situation has happened to him rather than being confused. And finally, it relaxes the brain. So the child might be going through a rigorous academic training with the maths, science, and subjects being poured onto his head heavily. So his brain may be exhausted with it. So if at the end of the day, if they have an arts period, they would definitely feel relaxed, right, from all these hard or tough subjects. And that way, relaxing the brain can help them be more productive than otherwise. So that's it for today. Until next time, see you.